looks like we're up and cooking. Hello, hello. Hello, you pretty, lovely people. I feel like I'm up. Says excellent connection, therefore I am up, huh? Oh, man. You guys ever run into this situation where you find yourself playing this game? I've been playing this game for almost 40 years, and I got tired of it about 39 years ago, and that game is called matching the AC adapters to the different devices. And I gotta tell you, man, every year or so, I find myself in a situation where I have all these AC adapters, and folks, I'm one of these people who's obsessive about AC adapters. AC adapters stay with the device that brung them. If I have to wrap the AC adapter around the device, whatever it is, labeling, whatever it is, sometimes I mess up. So like I got this AC adapter right here that is unlabeled, but it looks like it's hooked over to this extra camera over here, so I think I'm okay with that one. But I've got like 20 or 30 more of these things that I've got to be dealing with. So if anybody wants to have some fun, come on over to my house and we can sort through AC adapters. I got the label machine working again, so we can start labeling these things back up. But what an absolute incredible mess. Vegas Brent, hey man. Vegas, I should keep saying hey, but I see you a lot. Trey Dilla, Pass the Network Plus. Big round of applause to you, young man. Well done. Always glad to hear that. That's what we're here for. Getting people certified, and then getting people jobs. Really, we're here to get people jobs. But getting certified is a great way to get a job. I've had some good luck with the CyberNow Labs folks. A few more folks that we've had from here are graduating now. Everybody who has gone through my program who's gone through the CyberNow Labs program, who came out of the AMA gang, has all graduated. They all have jobs. Knock on wood. I'm pretty sure I'm up to on all that. So that's exciting. So Trey, what are you going to do next, man? You got to do something. What's your next big step? Had another sad thing happen to me. Well, first of all, I had something really nice happen over the weekend. My daughter and my 3 grandkids came into town, so always good to see Stephen, William, and Miss Valerie. So we went did the museum thing. That was all fun. Anyway, so my ex, Allison, we're on polite terms, and she came over, had some drinks, playing with the grandkids, la la la. And suddenly a dear friend of mine had died 3 years ago. One of those where you lost him in the divorce kind of friends. But isn't that hard? He's just like somebody you knew well. And it's like, because of the divorce, I didn't get to hear from him anymore. Would love to hear from more students, especially would like to hear a day in the life from a cybersecurity analyst. We can put that together, Patricia. That's actually fairly easy to do. One of the things you might want to be watching for is the Two Bald Nerds. So me and Richard Chapman from CyberNow Labs, we get together once a week. And we have covered, one of the big things we've been covering over in Two Bald Nerds is what does a day look like? In particular, what are the particular tool sets that are used on a day-by-day effort? How do these tools manifest in front of you? What are you tracking? Do you sit there and smoke cigarettes and wait for things to go beep? No. And then, everybody has a different way to do SOC analysis. So basically, what we can do, Patricia, is show you the tool sets. And actually, you head over on YouTube, you can head over to the CyberNow Labs channel right away if you want to. And we have Two Bald Nerds episodes that cover exactly that kind of stuff. So it's very, very interesting. But we can make it more than that. Baptiste, hey Mike, is it smart to go directly from CySA bypassing Security Plus? you'd have to have a lot of knowledge to jump from Security Plus to CySA. And in particular, the reason you'd be jumping to CySA is because you don't feel that you need the breadth of understanding that Security Plus gives you. Security Plus is very much a generalist certification in terms of IT security. Is it a smart idea? If you can successfully do it, I passed Security Plus on my first try. I failed CySA 3 times. If you can't successfully do it, and if you can get work, then it's a good idea. Are you trying to just do less certifications in order to get a job? Well, you don't even need to do that. You don't need to get even a Security Plus. I know that technology jobs have taken a little bit of a hickey over the last couple months, but not in IT security. It hasn't. Demand is still incredibly high. We'll see what happens over time. I have every confidence that the 750,000 backlog in cybersecurity analysts is a long way from getting filled. But I got to be honest with you, a lot of the people I see in this tech gulch that I'm going to call you are the people who got, I want to be careful how I say this because everybody's different, and I'm painting things with a broad stroke. There's an old phrase that in any bureaucracy, only 20% of the people do 80% of the work, and I very much believe that to be true. And in my opinion, the number of people who have been laid off, and there are exceptions to this. If you're laid off, don't get mad at me. I'm just making a broad industry statement here. Tend to be people who are not doing most of the production. And to be honest with you, it's pretty much true for everybody. And it's been true every time we've had a recession. I realize some discretion prevents a lot of particulars, but YouTube videos are all over the place and so generic that I really don't know what someone actually does. Thank you, Mike. All right. Dave Rush, let's make a point. I don't know if we can actually do them here per se. But we can, Patricia, we can certainly do something like that and bring an analyst online. That's not that hard to do. Okay. Sammy, Kenny Clayton. Thanks, Trey. He was a good buddy of mine. He actually ran for Congress back in 2004. Hey, Don. Thank you, Dave. We will bring that. That's actually could be easier to do than you might possibly think. My biggest problem is I want to pick somebody who's graduated recently, but not so recently that I'm intruding in their growth curve. Does that make any sense? I want people who've done it, but we'll definitely add one of those too. I think we got everything covered here. Tradilla, are you? Whoa. Tradilla, are you? Tradilla, I apologize. I don't remember people's names compared to their real names. So, Tradilla, are you one of the folks who took the CyberDow Labs program? And I apologize if I don't remember. I'm very sorry. Well, Baptiste, you can learn more complicated hands-on stuff, but I'm telling you, the demand for Security Plus is greater than CySA Plus at this point. Baptized, what's the agenda today? I have to admit, guys, I don't have an agenda. We're gonna do it free flowing. You remember I said that Mondays are going to have a topic normally, but we'll still have free flowing days. So I can have a free flowing day. If you want to ask questions, always feel free to ask questions, and I'll give it my best shot to answer you. But today's going to be an easier day. Not necessarily an easier day per se, but we don't have a locked-in topic. William Jeske, hey William, just poking his head in. Good to see you, man. Yeah, so I got to hang out with my granddaughter. My grandsons are great, but they're already turning into old men on me. But I got to hang out with my granddaughter, Valerie. And I have this wonderful picture of her. I can't get it to anybody easily, unfortunately. So it was one of these giant clamshells, and it was a part of a museum where you can touch everything. And there's this big giant clamshell. Here's my cute little granddaughter, and I plopped her in the clamshell, and I got a picture of her, and it came out really cute. Who was that super famous lady artist who photographed all the little children, like little flowers and bugs? I can't think of her name. Okay, Trey, you're just on your own. Thank you for correcting. I had forgotten that way. Ann Geddes. Thank you, Patricia. That's exactly. So my photo kind of came out like a little bit like an Ann Geddes. It doesn't matter. I know what you're talking about. Happy Lay Day. I'm not even going to touch that Toluet. Although I will admit, Toluet, exciting news, is the first of my Hawaiian lay plants, plumerias, are finally blooming. Here it's May 1st, which is a little late for Texas, but I'm getting nice blooms off of one of my plumeria. And I'm far enough south here in Texas that if a plumeria starts to bloom at the beginning of the season, which is usually more like beginning of April as opposed to beginning of May, I get flowers all year. It'll be till October before I run out of flowers. And I'm sure as Toluet could easily tell you guys, not only are plumeria, the Hawaiian lay plant, pretty flowers, but they're also edible. And that's kind of fun. Because why not eat the flowers that you like? So that's pretty exciting. What else we got going on here? So Discord seems to be coming along. I'm pretty sure everybody on here, just real quick, guys, we are moving into the world of Discord. If you have not joined our Discord channel, it used to be the unofficial Mike Meyers. Now, Total Seminars doesn't like using my name, so they put the unofficial Total Seminars channel. And so feel free to head over to that Discord channel. We got all the folks in there. I've been popping in. I had kind of a dry spot about not getting in, but I'm trying to get in. I'm not in every day like I said I would be, but I'm getting in a couple of times a week, and I'll work at doing a little bit better than that. How does Nessus scan different from Nikto? I don't have any quick idea, Baptiste. I'm sorry. I wouldn't be able to answer that question for you. So you like Nessus as a scanner? It's a good scanner, I guess. Emmanuel, any recommendation for laptop brand to use for cybersecurity courses? Emmanuel, I still stick with Dell. I have a few Acer laptops, but there's going to be two things that you're going to want on a security laptop that are getting harder and harder to find. Number one, you're going to want an Ethernet connection, an old school Ethernet connection. If you can't do that, then you're going to have a USB to Ethernet dongle, and you're going to have it fairly permanently. The second thing you're probably going to need is a old school serial port, mainly for configuring Cisco, Juniper, 3Com, a few other brand name routers, or just boxes. You're not going to find any laptops that have a real physical serial port anymore. But you can certainly find them that have USB, get a USB to serial dongle. Test it a few times before you use it out in the real world because they can be a little bit persnickety. But in terms of brand name, I tend to go with Dell more often than anything else. I like Dell. Here in the States, Dell has this wonderful refurb website, Refurbished Dells. It's pretty much 20% off of any Dell, but you got to get what they have that day. They move really fast, and you got to know what you're looking at. So if you don't understand RAM and storage space, Dell refurb may not be the best way to go. But I like Dell, and I still find myself buying Acers. I don't know why I buy Acers so often. In the last 3 years, I've bought two Acers. I bought two Acers and one Dell in the last 3 years. Laptops don't last a long time for me. I don't really look at them as a permanent piece of equipment. If there was ever a good leasing deal, I'd probably have taken advantage of it. But those would be the big things to look at. I'm going to say one more thing, although it's pretty much impossible to find any more, and that's optical media. You know, everybody's like, optical media is dead, optical media is dead. Well, my motherboards and all kinds of stuff still come with lots of optical media. I'm not going to kill myself. Optical media has gone down enough that it's not the panic that it used to be. And plus, I carry around a USB external optical drive that runs everything if I need that. You know, having the right tools, man, that's so important. I did add for my repair kit, I went and got myself a dental cleaning kit, mainly because my dentist is too expensive. No, I'm kidding. I got a dental cleaning kit because I'm finding myself needing picks more and more, breaking systems open. I'm not just talking about like smartphones and things like that. All kinds of stuff where I wouldn't anticipate having to strip out glue is showing up. I popped a monitor recently, and I was able to use my a dental pick and a spurger to get in there. But yeah, I'm finding myself, I went and bought myself some dental equipment, so always makes a good conversation. Okay, guys, just in case, by any chance, if you're not on the Discord server, Dave Rush has put a Discord server invitation. Please take advantage of it. We'll always be here, but I'm going to just be here on Mondays going forward. And if you want to catch a hold of me in any kind of faster time frame, that's going to be the way to do it with me. Shashlik. This is so funny, Andre, that you say shashlik. Melissa, my fiance, likes shashlik, and when she has to go over to Russia, which hasn't been recent, as you can imagine, this is for NASA stuff. That's one of the foods they try to get their hands on. Although I've never recorded Ukrainian, I always thought it was Georgian shashlik. Kenny Clayton, sorry if dumb question, never a dumb question. I'm starting a web development program in 2 weeks. Is it beneficial to have web dev experience if I wanted to move into cyber analyst later along? A little. If you want to do secure web development, then it's a very good thing to do. You know, it just depends where you want to be. Kenny, if you see yourself working in a web development world, then having some development and some coding experience will be a very, very good thing. Also, the thing is that the way websites are developed today, with all the cloud in it now and all these containerization tools and all these things, it's a different animal than it was even 10 or 15 years ago. And I find it to be a handy thing. Look, if you want to learn about web security, like HTTPS security, honestly, you know, throw a copy of whatever your web server du jour is and Wireshark and just, you know, practice capturing, HTTPS handshakes and stuff like that, which I think anybody should do anyway to really understand how all that works. But if you're not going to be doing direct web development and stuff like that, Kenny, then I would say it's not a helpful thing. Getting the coding experience wouldn't hurt. I think everybody should be able to write a little bit of code. Lay Day is a celebration of plumeria and all the flowers used in lei making here. It's a big deal in the schools, and they do big events at some parks. Oh, well, Tola, hey, look, I literally grow your state. I assume it's the state flower of Hawaii. I grow it here myself, and we get a lot of noise on that. Asus for laptops, I have had less than great success, although it's pretty dated, having success with Asus laptops. So I'm not going to say much more than that. You know, you get hooked on something and you just tend to stick with it. Sorry, Don Odiga. Mike, what do you think of advancing on Cisco certification, say CCNP from CCNA? And how easy is it to pass the exam? I think it's the challenge to pass the exam, Don. But if you're going to be a Cisco person, then you definitely need to be doing CCNP and going past CCNP, depending on where you want to be, CCIE is still a well-respected certification, but it puts you in a very specific spot. If you have a CCIE today, there's a real good chance you're going to be working for somebody in the cloud because you're going to be working on Cisco equipment that is supporting the cloud, you know? So I'm all about it. I believe in Cisco. I think everybody needs to understand enough about Cisco. I think that CCNA should be a required course for anybody getting into IT, not IT security, but IT or certainly networking. Cisco has a weird way at looking at a lot of things, but it's been doing it for so long now that everybody just seems to accept it. But yeah, I would go for it. So there you go, Trey. Trey Dilla, Aces for Life. That's my response. Oh, Patricia brings up an interesting point. If you can try a laptop in a store first, keys, keys are a lot better than they used to be, but just being able to look at it. My big issue when it comes to laptops is screen size, mainly because I tend to ask my laptops to do a lot. And at the very least, I'm going to need a extra usual HDMI connection on there so I can plug in a secondary monitor. But even in that case, I'm still going to be using like a 19-inch. It's about a 19 inch. I haven't seen an 18-inch screen in a while, so let's call it a 19-inch screen. So I tend to use bigger screens just because I like the look. Baptiste, how do you audit vendor hardware in total seminars to avoid supplier chain attacks, like mixed vendors or buy from a specific vendor? Baptiste, I don't do that. We have a guy named Michael Smyer over at Total Seminars who does that type of stuff. Baptiste, if you're really interested, if you really want me to talk about that, I will be glad to do it. But Baptiste, you have to act more interested. So Baptiste, this is just for you, mon frere. Come on. Oh, my monitors are dying again. One moment, please. Well, anyway, Baptiste, do me a favor. Dave Rush posted up at 214 my email addresses. Pick any one of those and holler at me a little bit, and we can talk about that. Trey, we get bit. Trey Dilla at 218, upset with Net Plus. Spent a while studying subnetting, only got one question. And I bet the question was fairly simplistic too. Yeah, I don't know what to do there. There's no way to half-teach subnetting, Either teach it or not teach it. Like one of the things I could do is I could teach subnetting starting everything from a WAC 24 and just do like, if you start with a WAC 24, you can break it down to a WAC 26, how many hosts you get, how many network IDs you get, that kind of a thing. But I don't feel that I can do that. But it can be a challenge. You are not, Trey, you're not the first person to holler that there's only been only one question on there. Security needed. Mike, how are you? I am fine, security needed. How are you? Always worry when I hear questions like that. Mike, are you dying? I don't think so. It's back at the health club again today. Going 5 days a week, man. Me and my Padawan. I got to give... So I have an assistant, all right? His name's Brian. He's 22 years old. He's a kid. He's great. He keeps me in like how people are talking today. Like something as hard as good. Did you know that? I didn't know that. And also because he's Latino, he's helping me habla español, so I'm pretty excited about that. And everything I do, he thinks is amazing. So like I took him to a coffee shop. He's only worked for me for 10 weeks. I took him to a coffee shop. I'm not talking a Starbucks. I mean like a real coffee shop with like sofas and vinyl records in the corner, or one of those, selling liquor. And just change of pace. There's one about 4 blocks from my house. And so we're just sitting there, and he's kind of like this. And I'm like, what's he saying? He goes, I've never been in a coffee shop before. I was like, take the, what was it? Take the pebble from my hand. Ooh, okay. Shashlik. I'm not even sure what shashlik is, but I'm supposed to say, Andre Shashlik has svina? How's my Russian? I'm sorry, I'm reading Tolowitz information about plumeria. And it's from Charles Plumier. I don't know, I'm darned. Hang out with Hawaiians, you learn something every time. Spam, pork shoulders and ham. Patricia Grace, HDMI dead tech. No, Patricia, every brand new motherboard and every laptop has an HDMI connection. You'd be hard pressed to find one that doesn't. I declare HDMI to be alive and well. Baptiste, CIDR subnetting is hard to understand. The problem that's with CIDR subnetting, well, there's a couple of problems with it. Number one, with IPv6 coming, it's virtually on the way out. I have set up CIDR subnets that actually work for a living, understand? Maybe 5 times in my entire life. It's just something you don't have a lot of call for, with NAT and private addressing. It's hardly necessary. Every private internal network on the earth is 192.168 something, right? Yeah, Baptiste, thanks, man. No, the workouts are actually pretty good. Hanging out with, that's what I was talking about. So Brian's 22 years old. This kid's in good shape, He's about 5'11", of course, so he's taller than me. He's got this $1 million smile, so he walks into the health club and, hey, and all the ladies are like, hi. And, but I can keep up with him, not in the chest workout. He smokes me there, but triceps. For some reason, the old man's got big old triceps. So it feels good. The guy's 1/3 my age, guys. Cut me some slack, And, he's like, oh, my God. And I'm just like, boo, boo, boo. Coffee shop like those in Amsterdam. Do you have those in Houston? I do not. Although I will tell you, in Houston itself, it's pretty, they don't arrest people for marijuana possession anymore for like under an ounce or something like that. Mason Richardson, I'll bet you live in a really big house. My house, I have a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse, and it has 1,700 square feet. So you tell me if that's a big house. You can mow my lawn with a pair of scissors in 20 minutes. Millennium, VPNs versus proxies for dummies. For some reason, I can never get that through my head. Dave Rush, didn't we do a VPNs thing already? I could have swore we did. This came up before. Most proxy servers are basically VPNs. I got to be careful with that. All right, so well, let's see what Dave Rush has to say about that. I could have swore we had some pretty good episodes that covered all this. The reason I'm stalling here for a minute, guys, is like, oh God, it's already 2:30. I don't have enough time to do it today. Well, we could probably pull it off. Yeah, Dave Rush, thank you for those CySA links. So the thing we did with our CySA episodes that we did here, you can see it's been a couple of years now. Anyway, not only did we do CySA, but more importantly, when we were doing subnetting, we did like 6 or 7 examples. So we kind of kept doing it over and over again to kind of get it in your brain. So I have a pretty standard process that I use for subnetting that works out pretty good. Is it possible for AI to take up security jobs? I hope so. I mean, you know, there's been a lot of AI in IT security for a while now. And so you see playbooks and rule books and stuff like that. That's basically AI, or at least it's functional rules. I would like to see AI taking over some of the more boring aspects. Too many false positives when we don't need them, and too few true positives when we do need them. And I would think that AI might be able to fit in very, very nicely there. But I mean, that's already happening now. Guys, don't fear AI. I know it's so much fun to say scary things about AI. The reality is AI's already been here for a while, and it does a very good job in a lot of different ways. And the more comfortable we get with it, the better we'll be there. AI can scan adversaries and remediate faster than the human. Yeah, probably. But it's going to remediate the stuff that we don't want to remediate anyway. Geez, thanks, Don. Nice thing to say. There is no instructor in the world that explains stuff as articulate as Mike. I are articulate. A year ago, I could not spell computer. Now I are one. Triceps are rough. So I always do. So, believe it or not, 20 years ago, I used to work out a lot. And so we'd have different workout days. So I would have a 5-day cycle. So it was C&T, chest and triceps, SPAM, which was shoulders and hamstrings, leg. I have forgotten my old routine. This is 20 years ago. I'm allowed to be. Mason Richardson was trying to make a joke. Did we miss your joke, buddy? I'm sorry. It happens all the time. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, Mason, because I live in a big... Oh, no, I was going to... All right, I got you now. Okay, I figured it out. Sorry, Mason. We mess up every now and then on the jokes. Yeah, guys, so I know we did VPNs and proxies before. I mean, I guess I could be willing to do it again if somebody wanted me to. It's not that hard. It's actually kind of interesting. You know, VPNs and proxies are in all but the same thing. I'm scrolling through here trying to find PowerPoints. Here's a bunch of PowerPoints. Digital signatures, hypersegmentation. Boy, we've done a ton of them in here. Monitors, IPv6, split horizon, Kerberos. Proxy. Let me just, I'm looking real quick to see what I have. All right, all right, we can do it. We can do it. We could reload a VPN proxy course. That'd be kind of fun. Hey guys, do me a favor. If you've got a particular VPN that you like to use right now, let me know about it. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to use NordVPN or something like that. DQ, hey, good to see you, DQ. Yeah, DQ. Mike Odinga. Mike certainly has the gift of gab. I do. You ask me what time it is, I'll tell you how to build a clock. Da-dum-bum-bum. All right, Dave. Thank you for finding the VPNs versus proxy server. That was a good episode. Mr. Derby01, good to see you, mon frere. I'm not Trey Dilla. I'm not against Nord at all. I think it's good. Probably of the pay VPNs, I would probably go with Nord these days. Proton, I don't even know Proton is a VPN. Windscribe, hide me. Should I take the Network Plus before you take the VMware vCTA? Ooh, I forget which. I don't remember the VMware vMCTA. Bear with me. I'm gonna look it up real quick. No, I would not. I'm not saying it wouldn't hurt, but you would probably do just as well. They actually talk about V7 storage like vSAN, iSCSI, fiber channel over Ethernet. I'm actually looking on Udemy on a particular spot. It might help some, but I wouldn't think it would help as much as you'd think. That's really more of a virtualization course than anything else. So Proton VPN, that always bothers, because number one, I don't really VPN that much. I do a small amount of VPNing, but it's usually like Open VPN or something where I'm dialing into the office. Proton VPN. Let me write that down or I'm going to forget. If Dave Rush is using it, well, by God, man, I mean, come on. The Dave Rush seal of approval. Which may sound like I'm kidding, but yeah, we'll check it out. Oh, Proton VPN is from the same as my Proton mail? Get out of here. I'm logging into Proton mail real quick. What is love? Isn't that funny? Because I don't use Proton. I would never even think about this for a... No, I don't want desktop notifications. Yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah, honestly, if you made me use something quick, I'd probably use Tor or some version of Tor, I don't know what I'd use. I will check this out, guys. Thank you for the idea for an updated, different kind of VPN. That might be fun, especially with enough of you guys liking it. Keep in mind, again, guys, my goal is to teach, not necessarily to find the perfect tool, but I will go check it out. I've got it logged up here. Happy me. All right. Well, it looks like things are going to be slowing down a little bit here. Anybody have any last second questions for me? Dave says such nice things. I have nothing to hide. I use Netscape Navigator. Shut up, Toluet. What's Mike's favorite certification? Network Plus. you want to learn more about Wireshark. So we did a Wireshark course here. In fact, Trey, you need to check out the Wireshark courses we've done. Mainly it was more of an introduction to Wireshark, getting the interface. The problem with Wireshark is that you can do so many things with it. I'd almost ask you to ask me about something first. Mike, I'm having difficulty logging into a secure web server. How do I use Wireshark? Mike, I'm concerned that I'm having stuff running on well-known ports on my system. How can I use Wireshark? Mike, I'm having problems with DHCP. How can I use Wireshark? See where I'm coming from? At this point, you can't keep asking me how to use a screwdriver. From here on in, we have to talk about a problem, and the screwdriver is just part of the fix. Does that make any sense? Mason Richardson, attempting to study on my 1102 right now. Yeah, Mason, see, the word you said was attempting, which says a lot of stuff to me. So Mason, what I'm hearing is that you're distracted. So if I were you, a great thing to do, Mason, is just go ahead and pay for your 1102 exam now. Do it like 90 days in the future, 3 months from now. And just do it. You know, setting aside a certain amount of time. If you're using my A+ training material, I put charts at the very front that says, okay, based on what you know, here's how many hours of study you're going to need. So if you get 3 months and you need, let's make the math easy, you need 300 hours of study, okay, well that means you get 100 hours of study per month. Can you study on the weekends? So you tend to put it heavy on the Saturdays. I like to leave Sundays open while I'm studying because I think your brain melts if you don't give yourself a little space. And then how many hours per week you can study. That's the biggest thing, is dedicating yourself. Well, Mike, how do I study? Well, I can't tell you how to study because everybody's different. Me, I like to have some type of instruction, which is going to be either me standing in front of you, which I hardly do anymore, or it's going to be Mike videos. Then you're going to need some kind of reference, a book, and then you're going to need practice questions. I mean, that's really all it boils down to. And you have to decide, okay, am I going to read the entire book? Am I going to watch all the videos? Or maybe I just want to watch the first 5 chapters, and then I want to grab the practice questions and do practice chapters 1 through 5. Or maybe I just do chapter 1, then I do practice questions for chapter 1. Then I do chapter 2, then I do practice questions for chapter 1 and chapter 2. I don't know who you are. But I can tell you this. Being distracted, I'm not even saying you are a distracted person. I just, you know, when I see the word attempting, that's what I tend to throw out there. You've got to dedicate the time. Look, I'm really fat, okay? And the reason Mike Meyers is really fat is because I haven't dedicated the time to it, because I'm kind of lazy. I'm going to be honest with you guys. My idea of fun is not getting out and lifting weights. It's not fun. You know what's fun for me? Drinking very good French wine. That makes me extremely happy. I had a wonderful Napa Chardonnay a couple of days ago. That's what makes me happy. But there's a point where, you know, if I want my goals in life, I have to get on it. Now, the interesting part is it's very funny because, like, for studying on topics that I have great interest in, I'm never distracted. So I guess part of the other thing I might throw at you is, you know, feel where's your passion? You know, are you passionate about technology? You're just barely started with A+. You know, you might be something else. And I'm not trying to talk you out of IT as a career. That's not my goal. My goal is, as I've told everybody, is number one, find your passion. When you're not working, what are you doing? Okay? Okay, if you're laying around smoking marijuana and watching I Love Lucy reruns, well, you know, that's one kind of job, all right? But then on the same token, are you doing other things that might show your passion? Gaming doesn't mean you need to be a game developer, but gaming might mean you're into 3D. Gaming might mean you're into networking. Gaming might think you're into system connectivity. Gaming might think you're into audio visual. Gaming might think you'd be into 3D rendering. I mean, there's a lot to it. You see where I'm coming from? And when you're working on your passion, life tends to be easier. People ask me when I'm going to retire. More than a lot lately. And I tell them I retired 25, 30 years ago, because it's true. Have fun with what you're doing. But get on it. It's important. When I'm not working, I'm playing chess. Ooh. All right, Tolwit, never talk about the wines that I like ever again. Chess is an amazing game. People who play chess tend to do extremely well in IT in just about any department they want. I'm okay at chess. My problem with chess is I get bored. Using the clocks help, but I still get bored. But you can do almost anything you want. So, Mason, keep that in mind, bud. Ken Mitchum. Question. I learned better with love instruction or videos. I learned better with love instruction or videos. Now, Ken, what type of instruction you need in the privacy of your home is your business, buddy. Love instruction. I learned better with instruction or videos. Live instruction or videos. Do you think I could pass Network Plus just watching your videos and practice exams? Yes, I think you can. Alex, just as Mike said, schedule the exam, chance you won't need 100%. Yeah, remember, nobody cares what your score is on certification exams. Nobody cares. Jarvis is coming. Here. I got you, Ken. We're good. I love playing with my extensive home network, but then Oksana gets bored and my kids get angry because they can't game online. I know that feeling too. You work so hard to get the network set up just right, now you're playing with it. And there's other people actually using that network. But I understand, Andre, I've been there. I took A+ when studying. I found I was really interested in dealing with IP addresses and networking. All right. Well, then, Trey, that's a great way to go. The A+ has its moment, but the classic screwdriver tech, I'm not saying that he's going away. She, it, whatever. Zimzy, Zerzal. But networking and security tends to be the bigger place. And this happens all the time in technology, folks. There's a certain point where a lot of the lower end technology just disappears. I mean, it's still there. It's just that nobody deals with it because we have individualized chips now that handle all this stuff auto-magically. And chips are not a big concern when it comes to hardware failures. Can chips fail? Of course they do. I've replaced RAM. I've replaced SSDs. But once a technology goes from a group of chips or some physical, rotational media or whatever it is into a single chip, or even worse, into a chipset, it's not that technology is unimportant. It's important, but because you can't put a screwdriver to that kind of repair easily, it tends to be ignored. And it tends to be a yank the motherboard and replace it, and who cares what the problem is on that one particular chip. Andre, when I told Oksana, for the record, Oksana is Andre's lovely wife, I needed a new 24-port switch, she asked why. Why would she ask that? Well, because she knows how much money you spend, my friend. And because then you also do all the other little games. For example, here's a game that both you and I have played, Andre. Be honest. Oh, hey, babe. Yeah, no, I need to get this 3/4-inch Dingley French switch. Oh, how much is that? Well, it shouldn't be more than about $80. Oh, okay, baby, get it. And then you go to the store, and then he's like, well, you wanted the fully managed switch, you wanted the this, that, the other, 24-port, you wanted the 2 10-gigabit uploads, and next thing you know, that $80 switch is now $400. And you're like, but babe, yeah, I've been there too. I understand. So that's the other thing, so Tolowit's kind of goofing around a little bit, but Tolowit's like, get her to take some classes. I'll tell you, there's nothing more terrifying than have your significant other join you in nerddom. And by the way, it starts easy. Just get him to game with you. How are we doing on time? Time is, oh goodness, time's almost done for the day. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up now. Seems like questions are a little low. Please join the Discord channel. It is the place to be. We're having a lot of fun there. Come join us. We're doing study halls that have been, we've already started the study halls, and we'll be doing some more of that. Will be coming up fine. Destroy my wife's PS5. I hope that's okay, Trey. I hope that's not a euphemism. But definitely join that stuff. I still don't know for sure what I'm going to do next week. I guess I could do a VPN. I've done one, but I could do it again. Give me a chance to play with Proton, this new VPN you guys seem to be all excited about. And but other than that, I am out the door. Folks, talk to y'all again soon. This is your Uncle Mikey saying bye-bye, and I will talk to you guys again next Monday. Bye-bye.